just dispelling the personal fears that I have or the things that I have that I use to hold myself back. So really challenging those fears and stepping out to be all that I can be.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think you're already almost maybe 3/4 way there. I mean, you've got your whole life ahead of you. So I don't know, where do you think you are in that path?
Well, hopefully I've come a long way, but I believe that there's always more to go. And I don't want to miss out on any of it. I want all of it, the best and most and brightest that, not just that I can be, but all that I was born to be. And kind of a destiny, in a sense, fulfilling the destiny that I was called to and that I was born to be.
Many girls, I think in all country, you know, dream of being a pageant queen or titled, you know, something as Miss something. Was this one of your dreams too as a little girl?
Actually, it never was.
Oh.
I know for a lot of people it is, but for me, I never imagined that I would be Miss Canada. I never imagined that I would be Miss British Columbia. I never did pageants before. I only did 2. First 2 that I ever did, I just happened to win them both.
Wow.
And yeah, no, it was never one of the plans that I had for my life. And I always tell people that I'm not a pageant queen. And the pageants that I did are actually very unique in the sense that they're really more like an intensive interview for who can be the best. They're not looking for a supermodel. They're looking for a role model.
Yeah.
They're looking for who can be the best ambassador of British Columbia, who can be the best ambassador of Canada. So the pageants I did were very unique. Neither of them had a swimwear competition. Neither of them had a talent competition. It was very much, who are you as a person? What do you stand for? What are your convictions? And what are you doing to try to make things better? What are you really, who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in?
Wow, that's very well said and very well put. In fact, I'm going to take a little shooting star moment, if you'll excuse me for just a moment. Yeah, as Miss Canada 2011, Tara Teng said, it's not being a supermodel, but more as a role model. And this is a really good phrase, role model, you know, someone that you look up to and you want to be very, you know, similar like, or they're following in their path. So who is your role model? So actually, who is your role model?
My role model, well, I have a lot of different people that I look up to. One person in particular that I really admire is Rosa Parks.
Oh,
and
okay.
I know it's a little bit different, but I really admire.
Rosa Parks was American.
Rosa Parks was American, not Canadian. But I very much respect the courage of this woman. She was living in a time where she sparked the civil rights movement in the United States. And it was her courage and her defiance of the status quo to step up and say, you know what, this is wrong. When we're treating people, when we have this racism and we're treating people, discriminating on them based on the color of their skin, that's not okay. And I'm not going to tolerate people being treated that way. People deserve respect and people deserve dignity. And I believe that a better world is possible where racism doesn't exist.
Right.
And so she stepped up and she, with her courage, based on what she believed in, and because she believed that a better way was possible, she stood up and defied that and started the civil rights movement. And I very much admire and respect that kind of courage.
And she stayed on that bus.
Exactly.
She stayed on that bus.
Exactly.
Right? Was it that
her ground.
Did she come to the front of the bus, or she just?
She wouldn't give up her seat.
Right.
The culture and the law at the time said that she would have to give up her seat to a white man because she was a black African American woman, and she would have to go to the back of the bus as kind of a second-class citizen. And she believed that that was wrong.
That is wrong.
Exactly. And look at how much things have changed because of this woman's courage.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah, and that's right. Internationally, Rosa Parks still, you know, when we say the name, we know exactly, you know, what happened in that image.
Exactly.
Now, not just being titled and being admired from, you know, a lot of young youths, I'm sure. Even you came here to Korea with your mom even.
I did.
And I'm sure your mom is just enlightened, you know, from the inside and out, and just as proud as she is probably of you.
Yeah.
So after you were titled, you know, what's the first thing that you said to your mom, or what your mom said to you? Well,
it was really special because my mom was able to be there at the pageant. It was held in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And she was able to be there. And you know, so much happens that I honestly don't remember the first thing that was said there. But it was just so amazing to have her be there, to share that moment. Family is something that is very important to me. And it was wonderful to share that with me. You know, my parents, both of them, are some of my biggest supporters. And they walk with me in the work that I do. And that's part of why she's here, to be able to support me in this work. And we have a really special connection with that. And I think that you know, it's just wonderful when you get to work so closely with the people who brought you into this world and give so much of you, and then you can give them back.
Yeah, that's great. So as giving that back, some things that you've done with your mom maybe you haven't done before, maybe.
Right.
I mean, traveling with her.
Well, coming to Korea.
Yeah, coming to Korea.
That's something. And we did travel all across Canada together as well. I spoke at a tour that went all across Canada, 10 different cities, called Ignite Justice.
Okay.
And so that was something that was really important that we shared together. And, you know, my mom always says that for her, it's been unique because you spend your whole life as a mother, as a parent, really influencing your children.
Yes.
And in the way that you want them to be raised, the kind of people that you hope that they will become. And then one day they turn around and they start influencing you. And so I think that that's been really great to be able to share that with her, some of my own personal convictions, and share that with her as well.
And your mother even seeing her baby influencing all these young, you know, young youths out there right now. Yeah. Incredible. So tell me some of the things, as being titled, some of the things, I know you've done so many things, but maybe some of the things that you've done that's actually touched your heart.
Well, there's been a lot. I think that it's been incredible. I've had the incredible privilege of working all across Canada, all across the United States, Thailand and Cambodia, really working internationally. And, you know, I've had the incredible privilege of working from some of the poorest and most impoverished situations, from very, very poor slum villages to working in the heights of government and working with, you know, the highest government, Prime Minister of Canada, and other great leaders all across the country. And some of the biggest, most touching moments that I will always, always treasure is some of the situations where we were in these slum villages and it seemed so desperate and it seemed so overwhelming, the poverty, but yet the joy that people have and the triumph over disparity and just the transformation and the beauty that people have when they really overcome these adversities and they triumph over what seems to be the darkest. And that keeps us going. That is the hope. That is what's possible. Not just restoration or redemption past hard situations, but thriving and radiance and triumph and beauty. That's what it's about.
Wow. Look at you. You could almost write a whole poem or book. You know?
I'm working on a book, so maybe next time, let you know.
What would your book be about? Or are we already peeking into something?
Well, we're peeking into it a little bit, but the biggest things, the messages, if I were to send out a message to the world, it would share a lot about the journey of faith and fighting for freedom, which is what I do through my work. And I think we'll share a little bit of that more later, but a lot of it would be really the hope that is possible. There's a lot that's overwhelming in the world, but there's a lot of beautiful, good stuff, and those stories people need.